Yo, what's up? Before we get started, man, I was just feeling this song, you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking of everything that's been happening this past month, and I tell you what though, man, I mean, these are really, really, really the signs of the times on a four wheel. But before I start, man, you know what I'm saying? I like this song's called Walking Waters, and the link is inside. The link is on the bottom of this page, and it's a very, very powerful song, man. And I just think just to have like a little bit of silence, meditate on God, you know what I'm saying? Um, pray for everybody in the Middle East, Palestinians, Muslims and Jews alike, because I mean it's very, very bad. But first of all, man, let's get a little prayers, a little praise on, and reflect.
In heavenly places, cause you're standing here. The laws of gravity don't matter here. Whoa. I can see the waves, but I feel no fear. I can see the storm, but I feel no fear. Let me higher into your atmosphere. I put my heart and soul to this, so I got no regrets. Like you staring in some water, I just hope it all reflects. Yeah, I hope you see the growth, cause I've been taking little steps. Every song I made, me shooting shots, hoping they connect. Just an underdog, been overlooked, but now it's time to flex. I was thrown into the fire, but they never saw me sweat. If it's anointed, then I'm good. I never worry who the best. Never been an Iron Man, but I feel power in my chest. Life is just a moment like a camera, I'ma capture this. Not living for the right now, because there isn't after this. See our bodies in the sky transforming like we optimists. Fake prophets acting deep, they pointing out the obvious. Keep the record clean and speak for God, cause one day he gon' audit it. Every knee gon' bow and tongue confession, proud you swallow it. The devil getting played in the media and politics. Spirit of the Antichrist, be careful you don't follow it. I've been through so many troubles, I done fought so many devils. I don't want so many battles, I can't even show the medals. You be surprised who the devil using as some vessels. Cry my way through hell just to hit another level. But Jesus went to hell through the cross to beat the devil. Never in the click of read, Jackie chose a rebel. So it's only fitting, miracles be happening every time I'm spitting. Like when Jesus opened blinded eyes and he gave him vision. Teach me how to walk on water, show me how to dance in the fire. Jesus, they led you like a lamb to the slaughter, put you in the grave, but you got up. Jesus, why you gotta be so many problems? Why I gotta climb so many mountains? Jesus, they told me you the well in the fountain, told me reach for you if I'm drowning. Jesus, teach me how to fight these battles, teach me how to block these arrows. Jesus, raise me up, let me smack these pharaohs, teach me how to cast out devils. Jesus, I just wanna speak in tongues, I just wanna beat war drums till your kingdom come. I just wanna teach my sons, Lord, please fill my lungs, cause I'm not done. Where I got fire, I got Jesus in me. I got hope, I got peace, I got victory. Now I'm stepping out on faith and the world gon' see. Yeah, I'm stepping out on faith and the world gon' see. We some water walkers, stepping out the darkness. Bad news all around, but we praise God regardless. We some water walkers, we ain't scared of darkness. Man, we killing all these demons, looking like we heartless. We some water walkers, 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 water. You gon' see us walking on water. I got power. Jesus. I got victory. Jesus. I got Jesus. Jesus. Stepping out on faith. Jesus. Jesus. Jesus.
What up, y'all? What's happening, man? On a four road, man. We are in some very, very trying times, and also you might as well just call this the birthing pains of what's happening in the book of Revelations. I've been watching a lot of things that's been happening. That's why I haven't really been making any videos lately. And I'm not and I'm gonna look at this whole situation with Israel and Palestine, non-bias. And I'm doing this for a reason. The reason being I'm looking at this non-biased and I'm looking at both cases is because I've listened to both sides. I took the time to really do my research and see what's really, really going on. First of all, I want to say to my Jewish friends, Shalom. Also, I want to say to my Muslim friends, Assalamu alaikum walam barakatuh. And I'm trying and I'm looking at this from a follower of Christ standpoint. And as I said before, learning how to be a better disciple of Jesus Christ, and also being on the right side of this. Now, why do I say being on the right side of this? Well, we got two sides fighting in the name of God, of the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Ishmael. The Muslim line is from the line of Ishmael. This is, a very tough situation for me personally. The reason being I'm saying this is very tough because I can say it for myself. I love both of y'all. You know, there was like this. I have a Jewish friend I used to work for when I was in Vegas. We had Muslims, we had Christians, and we all worked together and we didn't even have a beef. We didn't even talk about all the stuff that was happening. We were just people. And my Jewish friend that I worked for, he really started me off when I actually went when I went back to Vegas, working at a little um kiosk and stuff like that. His twins, they should be about 3 or 4 now. He was all happy. He always went to and from Israel to see his family. You know, came back when they're having their feasts and all that stuff like that. He'd actually sit there and bring some food up, you know, the different Jewish dishes and stuff like that. Really, really, really cool guy. Devout Jew, you know, but a very fair man. And then there's my one of the closest people to me is a Muslim man. He was like he's like a second father. I can talk to him about things that I couldn't really talk to my own parents, my own family. And we grew. One of my best friends, older fella, you know, I talk to him on the phone. We talk about we talk about the Bible. We talk about the religions, and I studied Islam for 6 years. You know, and I was in deep prayer about this. And the one thing that I can agree with of anything about the Muslims is the Al Fatiha. And the Al Fatiha is a prayer the Muslims do before they do their actual prayer. You know? And I'm just letting you in because these two people, this Jew and this Muslim, are one of the two dearest people that are in my life. So this is why I'm looking at this completely unbiased. You know? And and when we sit there and do this, as I says, I'm really trying to find words for both sides can understand, as well as a Christian family to understand. All right. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe he resurrected. He's my savior and he's the Messiah. And I will say that till I turn blue, till I'm in the ground. But that being said, I know that the Jews don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Okay, that's between you. That's between you and Yahweh. And the Muslims believe that Jesus, also known as Isa, consider him as a prophet. Okay? Now, I have respect for both sides' beliefs. We all worship this God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Okay? And first, start with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and lead us not into temptation, but forgive us our trespasses. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. And I haven't said that long. I know I got it wrong. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Sorry. Forgive me. It's been a long time. There's a lot on my mind. And also, for the Muslims, which I can agree with this. You know what I'm saying? La ilaha illallah. There's no God but God. Because according to us, Jesus is God. I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to go into politics. I don't want to go into the religion. Let God figure that out. Let Yahweh figure that out. Let Allah figure that out. Let God, Jehovah, figure that out. Let the Elohim figure it out. All right? Because, I love all of y'all. And on the side, what I agree with the Muslims is the Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal Latina am'amta alayhim khairul maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. And for me personally, in Jesus' name. All right. If y'all want to find out what the Al-Fatiha is, go ahead. But that right there just says that God is God, master of the day of judgment, master of the universe. Lead us on a straight path. Do not lead us astray. You know, and that's what all basically what that's about. I mean, not exactly. I can't remember everything, but it is in English. So go ahead and Google it, and see what it actually says. And at the end of it, I said, in Jesus' name. It says nothing about the Prophet Muhammad, but let alone is I'm not going to dog Islam on that, because number one is they may find Jesus. Something may happen. I don't know. All right. I am not the judge here. God isn't God, Yahweh, the master of judgment. Okay. That being said, let's have everybody on the same page. Okay. Nothing a-Semitic, nothing a Muslim, anti-Muslim. Because the biggest problem that we have right now is, from what I'm seeing from all three, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, the biggest evil in this whole blame world is religion. And I'm not just saying for that's in Christianity, because there's also, you have the Methodists, you have the Baptists, you have the Episcopalian, you have the Protestants, you have all the same thing with the same with the different types of Jews with their inner fights, same thing with the Christians with their inner fights and their beliefs, same thing with the Muslims with all 72 sects of them. Okay, I understand. All right, so I'm not one of these Americans that sit there that's completely ignorant to any side of the religious spectrum. None, zero. Okay. That being said, and this is a disclaimer, there's nothing anti-Semitic, there's nothing Muslim, but you know what? I'm going to sit there and talk about both sides here. And as I said, I'm going to split this baby just like Solomon. Haven't said that for a while, because I had to really sit there and pray about it. I really had to sit there and meditate on this. And all night, whatever, since this happened, I've been asking God. I even went on Lou Valentino's panel last night. We had a Muslim fellow on there. We had all races and all that stuff like that. All right. Christian, Muslim. I don't know if we had a Jew up there. I know there was a Muslim guy up there. We all talked that he don't believe in the way all this was executed. All right. Number one is, I am no fan of war. All right. I heard both sides, what's happening in Palestine, and also from a Jewish perspective. And there's both wrong, and there's wrongs on both sides of this. And this is looking at this as a true follower of Christ, and wrong, and there's wrong with the Christians. Okay? And of all people, Christians. All right? Jesus died for all of us, Jew and Gentile alike. Okay? Jesus even loves the Muslims. Okay? Jesus loves the Jews. And Jesus loves the Christians. Okay? The greatest commandment is love thy neighbor. And you know what? I don't see no love. And here in America, I see no love with Christians. I see no love with Jews. I see no love with Muslims. Okay, why do I say that? Because all you Christians out there are sitting there picking sides, just as well, I want to go on the Jews because they're the chosen people. Okay? Then you have others that are Muslim. I'm on the blame Gaza side because they were basically uh, um, um, camps in the way the Jews treated the Muslims. All right, all three religions was us fighting like little blame children, sitting there taking sides and forgetting what 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 all of us was taught. Muslims, don't it say inside the Quran is believe as you believe as I do I? Why don't you do that? Jews, y'all just gotta get y'all just gotta get off get off of this ego trip. All right. We all understand that the history with God and all that stuff like that. It all started with Adam and Eve. And then somewhere down the line, it all started messing up. And we all know if you sit and look at the Old Testament into the New Testament, then 600 years later, then you have the then you have the Quran. I read the sealed nectar and all that stuff like that. All right, some stuff that you don't, some stuff that probably most of y'all don't even know about. Do I agree with it? Not all of it. I didn't say, you know what I'm saying? There's some good points. You know what I'm saying? But also there's things that I don't like. You know, I says I'm not too fond on Sunnah and Hadith. And I'm just being honest, and this goes out to the Muslims. I'm not very fond of that. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really fond about all that. Jews, you know, I sat there and I've talked to a lot of Jews. I've even watched I watch a lot of Roseanne Barr because little do people know that she's a Jew. And she also talked about and then one of her podcasts, I sat there and listened to it. She talked about the inner fights between the different sects of Jews. And also the inner fighting with the different sects of Christianity that a lot of Christians we already know. So we all three major monotheistic religions have the same problems. Now I'm not saying that we all come together and be one united church and we all just bring everything. No, no. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even articulate the reason why I say no. I can't articulate it because number one, there ain't no words, not in the English language, not that I can think of. And I'd rather be honest because I don't want to sit there and lead y'all astray and put some stupid stuff inside your head. But I hear to attest that Jesus is the way, truth, and the life, and the rest that's on y'all. He died for all of us. I have no ego here. There's Muslims that found Jesus. There's Jews that found Jesus. You know, so I'm not going to sit there and put judgment on anybody because when it comes down to the end of the day, we are all a creation of God. You know, people like to worship the creation and not the creator. You know, now the way this was executed, these Muslims, these Hamas Muslims, and all that stuff like that. All right, they're wrong. The wrong because of killing children, taking the women, and doing what they were doing. I mean, I was watching a video, and it was actually translated, you know what I'm saying, when I was on the Lou Valentino channel. And the Muslim guy was sitting there talking about, if you've seen the video of the Hamas cats, kicking this dead soldier. And they were talking in Arabic. And they were sitting there, and one of the soldiers says, "You can't do that. That's forbidden." I'm sitting there kicking a dead body, and you ain't even supposed to do that. This is straight demonic, man. And at least that one guy, which you wouldn't see because none of y'all know Arabic. I don't know it that well. But at least that man had the audacity, that one that had said, "Nah, dude, that's not cool." Now, the Palestinians say this, okay, that basically they want their own state. All right. But also at the same time, you got some bad apples, and also don't forget a few months back, right? Inside the Israeli government, they wanted to prohibit the teachings of Jesus Christ in Israel. All right. This is why I'm saying about these ego trips. This is what Jesus was talking about. And I always say the Pharisees, the pastors, and, you know what I'm saying? Also, you might as well put the imams in there, and these sheikhs and scholars having their own agenda instead of glory be to God. Now, those Christians that want to say, well, they're going to go to hell. Okay. What about you? Did you give them the message? What did Jesus say, Christians? What did Jesus say to the disciples when he sent them 2 by 2? If you're not welcome, dust off your sandals and keep it moving. And you can't even do that. There's no sense of respect. Even in the Bible, they sit there and said that man's hearts will sit there and it'll grow cold. And I'm seeing in all three. And you know what? It disgusts me. All right. Now, that being said, the whole situation is sit there and messed up, and y'all got to get together and do something. And also for the Muslims and the Jews here, be an example. Be an example. Y'all left your countries to get away from what's happening over there right now. And you want to sit there and bring this war here to the United States of America? Will you want to make this country into the very thing that you try to leave? Really? So that tells me that your religion is more important than the religious harmony that this country is supposed to represent. And what you're doing is you're letting the press sensationalize all of this, not asking questions. Even the Israelis are asking questions about this. How did this attack happen? Where was the intelligence on this? Where was the intelligence on this? coming saying that Egypt was sitting there warning about. Why did the Mossad sit there and ignore it? You ever ask a question? What was it? Last month they sent $6 billion, open up sanctions to Iran. Even Trump sat there and said exactly what's going to happen is they're going to do it to terrorism. Also, the news is not telling you that they're actually using the equipment that we left in Afghanistan. The M4s and stuff like that, man. This was a setup. All right? Jews, Muslims, this was a setup. And there was a Muslim man last night. If you look at the Lou Valentino channel, all right, and this is a Muslim saying we're being used. The Muslims are being used, and the Jews been being used. And the guy that's funding this is a Jew himself. In the Bible, it sits there and talks about being about real Jews, don't it? So we have Christians that are not real Christians. We have Jews that are not real Jews. We have Muslims that are not real Muslims. If you really want to sit there and look at it like that. All right. This was fixed. And this all goes back to Obama. 2017, January 17th, 2017, when he sent all that money to Iran. And then the sanctions. And now you have Hezbollah wanting to join in on the fight. Muslims, Jews, Christians were all being played. All right? We're all being played. Religion, you're being played. This is about the love of God, dude, especially Christians. This is about the love of God and our Savior, Jesus Christ, dude. This has nothing to do with this with this Roman Catholic gummy bear, Dr. Feelgood Christianity that is all about love, that you can be you could be gay and still be saved by Jesus. It ain't going to work. Then you sit there and have the LGBTQ for Palestine. Yeah, you know what? You go to a Muslim country and you be gay and see what happens if you're gay inside a Muslim country. We just try to minister to you here. They'll kill you over there. You'll get stoned, throw off blame roofs or whatever. You think you're being treated bad right here, which you're not. Go to a Muslim country. Y'all just being straight dumbasses on that. Pardon my French, but I just gotta be for real. Y'all in the LGBTQRSTUVWXY plus minus divided by the second power, whatever you want to call it. Y'all are idiots. You have it easy here in America. But let alone is give you an inch, you want more, and all that stuff like that. Calling everybody homophobic and all that. You know what? I want to tell you what. It's an abomination from God, and that's between you and God, and you do what you want to do, because that has nothing to do with me. Only thing I can sit there and tell you that it is wrong. It's an abomination. And you know what? Out of respect for everybody else, pansexual, heterosexual, whatever sexual you want to be, keep it in your blame bedroom. Don't impose it on kids. We don't need no drag queen story hour. We don't need no CRT. We don't need none of that. Inclusivity doesn't mean that we have to know all your personal dirt and your personal business that happens in your blame house. Keep it there. Respect everybody else, which there's no respect. They're sitting there, they're attacking us by race, they're attacking us by political party, they're attacking us by sexuality. And now the whole thing, they're attacking us with religion. And entering us into the worst type war you can possibly be in, a holy war. But you know what, though, man? This all has to come to pass. You know, this all has to come to pass. But this right here is a fixed. I got a video to show you. BLM. All right. Now on Palestine, which we never sit there and thought about what's happening in Libya. You know what I'm saying? With these radical Islamists, not the regular, not the farmer Muslims, not the regular common Muslims, but this radical hierarchy Muslims are slaving in Libya Black Africans. I'm just letting you know that BLM, funded by George Soros, which is a Jew that killed Jews, and he felt pretty good about it. He didn't have no regrets. You know? So this is the hierarchy. This is not the common Jew. And I'm talking about the hierarchy Muslim, not the common Muslim. Because I know a lot of them, Palestinians, Egyptians, you know, Turkish Muslims, Iranian Muslims. You know what I'm saying? These cats, man, ain't nothing like these Hamas cats. So all y'all gotta get off that shit. And as for the Jews, I'm not talking about the common Jew. The Jews that you're around every single day, that's your friends, you eat, drink, play sports with, and all that stuff. I'm talking about these hierarchy Jews, these select. And for the Christians, I'm talking about these popes. I'm talking about these fake pastors, these fake preachers that give you that Dr. Feelgood bull crap. So there's wrong in all three. But let's get to what's happening. Let's get to what's happening with this funding that Joe Biden did and the failure of intelligence, and then with our own weapons being used against these people. You know, there's something more evil and nefarious about this. But y'all are all caught up in your blame emotions, putting up flags. And I ain't putting up nothing, because you know what? It's all wrong. All thing y'all are being, all three Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike, are being played by their blame emotions, making each other enemy when you don't even know, when you know that there's an enemy that's sitting there pulling the strings, that's making everybody fight with each other on all fronts, through our movies, through TV, through our news and media, about race. There's a race, social status, sex, and religion. Let's sit there and check this out.
Here's a cut I described before. I'm sorry, it was my fault. It wasn't their fault over there. I want to play this super cut because, folks, Trump was right again. I don't really care about the mean tweets. I don't want to date the guy, all right? I just want someone who's going to get the country right. This idiot in the White House now he's Nero. The place is burning to the ground. It was Trump warning people. You're going to see this supercut about the funding to Iran, and all the media people now on the wrong side of only the most important issue right now of our time, which is keeping the savages out of our backyard. Take a listen.
Aren't going to be released for nothing in exchange.
Didn't they also get 5 Iranians?
They will get 5 Iranians as well. Yeah, Jackie.
Then we need to add $6 billion on top of that.
This is the deal that we were able to strike.
Biden's ransom payment will be immediately used to stoke violence, bloodshed, and mayhem throughout the Middle East, putting Israel, the United States, and the entire world in very grave peril.
Joe Biden just lit a match to the Middle East. Israel has got to be on alert.
The news that the deal is moving forward is drawing criticism from both sides of the aisle on Capitol Hill.
The way to avoid having hostages taken by Iran is to be strong and firm and resolute, and to not use carrots in the form of $6 billion, but to use sticks in the form of threats to things that Iran holds dear.
Trump was right again, episode number 92,422.
Now, do you see this? All right. And this is not just that $6 billion. Okay. Biden left that equipment there, over $80 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan on purpose. And a lot of that was guns, Humvees, helicopters, night vision, you know. Then if you go back, then it goes back to 2017 when Obama gave money. What was it, like $230 billion or $230 million or $2.3 billion or something like that? I'm not sure what the number was, but it was, I know it was January 17th, 2017, just days before he left office, and sent blame, crates of blame money, pallets of money, cash. And remember that Obama was with the Islamic Brotherhood. You know, we paid for ISIS. We paid for Al Qaeda. Bin Laden was our blamed friend. We allied with the Taliban in Afghanistan before we turned on them. We allied with Saddam Hussein before we sat there and went to war with him. You're being played, though, man. You're being played. And now we're sitting out now, niggas, all three, Muslims, Jews, Christians alike. Let's just keep this Gucci, man. Let's just keep it real. Let's call a spade a spade. And y'all being suckered right into it. All up in your emotions, all sitting there, and I'm sorry for my French, acting like bitches. You know what I'm saying? We're angry at each other, but we should be angry at the people who finance this stuff to make it happen. Now, where the most way was executed, I mean, kids, women, grandmas, and all that stuff like that, mutilating people, that's straight wrong. That's straight barbaric. I'm pissed off about that. All right. But on the Jews side, on the way they're treated. And also, I mean, like I don't know if this is true or not, but you know what? From these hierarchy Jews, I never had it from a regular Jew. But the hat and the curly Jews, you know what I'm saying? The ones that wear the hats, the black thing, and the curly Jews, every single one of them were rude to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie about that. But regular Jews that are Jewish that look like me or you, or either white or whatever, or regular white Jews instead of the ones that have the hat and the curly cues. The Jews with a Middle Eastern descent, not a problem. And that does make me wonder. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just going to look at the individuals that I sat there and I met them cats in Florida. But I can be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I like this. Very, very, very few Muslims has ever treated me bad. And a select in Christians that want to sit there and argue with you on the most simplest things because of quote unquote gummy bear Roman Catholic Catholicism, Constantinian Christianity, with all the pagan holidays and all that stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of you Christians out there are celebrating Halloween, right? You know what I'm saying? Hallows Eve, Witches Night. What did the Bible say about witchcraft, or glorifying all that stuff? What do they say about what do they say about having tarot cards, mediums, and all that stuff? Let alone there's a lot of Christians out here getting ready to go to their Halloween parties and all that stuff. Like, oh, it's all good. It's just for the kids and stuff like that. And the only thing you're doing is sitting there conjuring up more evil spirits. Easter, god of fertility, orgies, and all that stuff like that. Don't even celebrate it. Christmas, don't even celebrate it. You know? Thanksgiving, man, it's just a day to being thankful. But for me, I ain't gonna lie to you. My day is the Passover. For me, that's for me personally, the Passover is a true thing, is a true Thanksgiving. For me. And I eat differently during the Passover. You know? Because it's in remembrance of what Jesus did for us, what happened at a time during the plague when everybody's firstborn was killed during the during the plagues, during Moses trying to let the people trying to get the people out of Egypt, get the Israelites out of Egypt to the promised land. Israel, you know, of any real holiday, I can say the Passover is my favorite holiday, and I'm not even a Jew. I'm a Gentile. You know, when I sat there and I studied Islam for 6 years, I tell you what, when I was a Christian, I didn't pray every day. I didn't think about God every day. When I studied Islam, I think about God every single day. You know, 5 prayers was really a little bit much. You know what I'm saying? But to be God-minded, which I sat there and I really, really learned, which was really, really helped me, was this thing that the Muslims taught me, was a thing called taqwa. Taqwa means God-minded. That as you're walking, as you're talking, as you're working, your mind and your spirit is in prayer, thinking about God. You know, that's what the Muslims taught me. You know what I'm saying? Which the discipline, you know, and that's the one thing that I keep that every day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like this. I can be honest with you. Just being lenient, just being lenient on myself ever since I studied, I'm in prayer at least a third of the day. Or I'm spending time with God some way, somehow, every single day, at least a third of it. How about y'all Christians? Do y'all do at least a third of a day? Have time and spirit and thought and prayer with God? Huh? And that right there is what I learned from the Muslims, which I've never learned anything like that just from being a Christian. Not saying that I am Muslim, but really, if you look at the word Muslim, Muslim ain't what you call a people. Muslim is actually a word and it has meaning. And that's submitting yourself to the will of God. How many of y'all Christians, how many of y'all Jews, how many of y'all Muslims truly submit yourself to the will of God? Or I'm not going to say truly, try. You know? Because of all people, I can talk about this. All right? Because I've studied one, I lived one, and I've read about the other. Which is not which basically everybody knows that the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, the books of the law. So there we are about Judaism, which everybody that's in the Bible is also in also in the Quran. But I prefer the Bible. I believe in the Bible, and also I'm down with the Torah. And the Quran is interesting. You know, good knowledge to know. You know, a lot of commonalities. You know, but then the words that we sit there and learn is caliphate and all the caliphate people that's not yada yada yada. But Muslims, don't it say in Surah 61? But wait, what does it say? Um, oh wait, all Christians, Sabians, and Jews, and all who practice righteousness shall be rewarded by their God. That's Quran, you know? And also inside the Quran, they sit there and they talk about the children of the book, which talked about the Torah and also the Bible, which they reference the Bible called the Injil. Okay? So even as Muslims, as y'all be sitting there just hating on the Jews and hating on the Jews, you're not even following, as what a lot of Muslims sit there and told me as being a Christian. Y'all have the nerve to sit there and talk about Christians don't follow their book when y'all don't even follow your own book. Believe as you believe, as I do I. That's the Surah. I don't see y'all practicing that. You didn't practice that in Israel. But there's a lot of Muslims that I know that sit there and practice that. It's the Sunnah and it's the Hadith. I've never agreed with it and I never will agree with it. But if you want to follow it, it's on you. If we have to meet, I have to come into your house and take my shoes off. You know what I'm saying? I'd happily pray right beside you. All your customs, because that's your house. I'm fine with that. And also, what the Muslims always sit there and say is that I am accountable for my brother. We are all brothers and sisters. Why? So if you're so accountable for your brother, then why are you going? Why are you doing this to the Jews? The hierarchy Muslims. All right. And that's been said all the time. Ingrained. I'm accountable for my brother. I'm accountable for my brother. Okay. If you really want to sit there, go, what about your 5 pillars? Your 5 pillars of Islam? Are they really practicing that? Or are you just doing what you would, or these hierarchy, these hierarchy terrorist Muslims are just doing what they think? They're doing exactly what the Christians do. Pick what they want out of the Quran or pick what they want out of the Bible to make it work for them. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to understand here. You know? And the ego of the hierarchy of the on the Jewish side, not the common Jews, the hierarchy Jews. And now they have all this anti-Semitic stuff that's happening, which is a big contradiction. Then you have BLM sitting there all for Palestine and stuff like that, you know. But where's the ADL now? It's asemitic, it's asemitic, it's asemitic. Then there are people who are having rallies of 1,000 people, New York, Fort Lauderdale, other cities. All right. But the ADL is silent. Wow, man. Jews, Muslims, and Christians are getting played. And all this is happening while we're changing out our Speaker of the House. All these blame, all the truths are coming out on Biden. The cases against Trump's falling apart. All this stuff is that, but but right now they're trying to make you forget. And now it's okay, we're going to put everybody's life in jeopardy. And now tomorrow, Friday the 13th, which is a blame Devil's Day, and then they didn't the leader one of the leaders of Iran saying that everybody sit there and rally. And then you have the people don't go to a major city because number one is something's going to happen. Because now they're getting all of the Muslims jerking the feelings of all you Muslims, jerking the feelings of all you Jews, just like they jerking the feelings of all the Christians, and then jerking the feeling like they jerk the feelings of being oppressed while we're being black, jerking the feelings that the straight white man is bad. Jerking the feelings because everybody against gay people. Everybody from every aspect of life, you're getting your feelings jerked. I'm saying caught in this big delusion. When everybody should be sitting there looking to God and say, Lord, how can we solve this? What do we need to do? And all of y'all that sit there and live here in America and are sitting there protesting all this bullshit, you know? And it's not talking about bullshit about the trade, but no, I mean, the tragedy, that right there, man, that's horrific. That's horrific on both sides. Both sides, men, women, and children are sitting there getting killed right now as we are speaking right now. And you justify more death because of death of innocence. Do I understand what? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, everybody, I mean, I understand, but it still doesn't justify what's happening. Jews, have you listened to the Muslims and what they want? Muslims, have you listened to the Jews and what they want? Or have any of y'all just came to the table, or y'all just or one or the other, or both think they're better than anybody else, better than the other? And the Christians just jump on the back, or oh yeah, they're the holy people. You know what? It's like Jesus died for all of us, and I'm so sick of this holy people and all this stuff like that. Because number one is with the Gentiles, we're all adopted inside the body of Christ. All right. I like it. Someone like I could be I can be a blame. Well, you're black, you do. I don't know. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know my blame here. Only thing I know is I was born here in the United States. If I got Jewish blood in me, that's cool. If I got African blood in me, that's cool. If I got white blood in me, that's cool. I don't give a damn. I just love everybody. I don't give a damn where anybody is from. Love thy neighbor as thyself. If you don't love your neighbor nor yourself, how can you love the Father? How can you love God if you don't love your neighbor? If you don't love your neighbor, you don't even love yourself. Because we are all created in God's image. And all three of us can sit there and agree upon that. Wow, man. Wow. Wow. You know, and some of y'all just don't get it. And y'all gotta be vigilant, man. Because this man is getting ready to put us into a war. Why? Because they want to cover up all the bullshit. We just don't have a deep state here in the United States. There's deep state in every single government in the world is going through the same stuff as what we're going through in just different ways. But the same thing. And it's all catching up with them. You look at, I've been watching parliaments. The Ukraine war is basically over. And all that money, and guess where that money is going to? From the Ukraine to terrorism. Because that war is just about over, man. You haven't been really hearing anything about Ukraine. Because they really don't want to send no money to Ukraine. And I ain't afraid to say it. Ukraine war is the Democrats' war, in the Israel war against Hamas is a Republicans' war. Because now they want to send money to Israel. Same uniparty, different wings. Over and over and over again. Democrats. All right. The Yugoslavian war. Republicans. Middle Eastern. Why is Republicans always Middle Eastern? I'm going to say it. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I've been watching this shit for too long. For too long. I see the patterns. I see what's going on. Meanwhile, they're sitting there want to call us terrorists. I have no desire in hurting nobody. But you know what? I will defend myself if I have to. And I don't even want to do that. But we're the terrorists. Conservatives are the terrorists. People that want to make America great again because it sucks, now it means something because of all this bullshit. Let's just call a spade a spade. Sorry for my French, but you know what, man? I'm crying out, man, because I'm tired. I am tired. You know? And I'm just telling you, because you know what, man? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest. Arm up, man. Arm up and watch. Watch what's going on around us, man. You know? Watch. Because I tell you what, though, man. It's really getting bad. It's really getting bad. Really, really, really getting bad, man. Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. And you really just there's people that are so caught up in their blame emotions and being offended. And it's happening, man. It's happening. It's as plain as day. You know what I'm saying? This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You know? I really believe that our generation is the last generation, man, because after us, man, we get through this, man, it's going to be another 20, 30 years. And then after that, the world's going to go to shit. If the world don't go to shit now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's scary, but I'm excited, man, at the same time. Everybody I was like, oh, man, we're going to have a nuclear war and all that stuff. Like, so what, dude? You know? You know that Russia is more prepared for nuclear war than we are. Only thing we both got the EMS and stuff like that was going on. Shoot, I was watching stuff in Russia. Them malls had every they go to blame civilians had blame suits, masks, radiation suits, radiation masks, and all that stuff like that. Having classes if they had that and stuff like that. Shoot, at least the Russians are trying to survive. Where do we go if there's a nuclear war? Have you ever thought about that? But meanwhile, you have all you dimwit liberals are sitting there saying that, oh, we got to save the planet for climate change. What good is saving the planet when we're on the verge of a nuclear war, dumbasses? How are we saving the planet right now when all these bombs are going off in Israel? All these bombs are going off in Ukraine. All the carbon emissions and all that stuff like that. But they're saying climate change, and meanwhile we have bombs. How can you sit there and say climate change when Biden sat there and sent your uranium tipped rounds to blame Ukraine? How does uranium tipped rounds save the planet, dumbasses? Oh, we want to change everything. I mean, it's a big contradiction, and y'all just sitting there just playing into it. Bombs going off, nuclear war, but we got to save the planet for climate change. Do y'all actually hear yourselves and what y'all saying? And the same people, oh, war Israel, we're going to go bomb the heck out of them. Yada, 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 yada. But meanwhile, here, climate change. And you're advocating for war at the same time. Nuclear war. You don't even care if it's nuclear war, but you still want to save the planet. And y'all dumbasses don't even hear yourselves. I mean, I'm a sitting there just watching, man. Watching. Well, everybody's all nonchalant, going on their vacations, going to Disneyland. I mean, I watch. I hope you had a good time. But you know what? Y'all, you gotta tell you, y'all are so plain complacent on what's really going on. You know? It's getting cold pretty soon. How many of y'all gonna sit there and put a mask on? And how many of y'all's gonna get your 4th, 5th jab? You don't believe that too? You know? Oh, it's funny how they're bringing all this stuff in this election time again. What happened last election? Huh? Same playbook, same thing. COVID. Now they have a war. They're trying to take Trump off the ballot. They're trying to put him in jail. All 91 indictments plus a civil case and all that stuff like that. Also, he's high on the blame polls. You have McCarthy working deals with the blame Democrats to pay for the money to Ukraine, which the money ain't going to Ukraine, and they didn't want to have an audit with it. And that money from Ukraine is actually going straight to the blame Hamas, Hezbollah, Al Qaeda. The same cats we've been funding for the past, 20-something years now. Wake up, man. Wake up. I mean, we all need Jesus inside of our lives, man. And I need Jesus more. And you need Jesus more. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of God is now, dude. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, and I keep on saying, even in my last one, who is your God? The creation or the creator? Those who heareth hear, those who seeth see. Because you know what? If you don't make a choice now, then a choice is going to be made for you. And that's on the real deal, man. That is on the real deal. That choice is going to be made for you, man. And it ain't going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. I'm going to check y'all out, man. I'm out.